In the metals quadrant, taking a look at the September copper futures contract, which is on a 3-session losing streak right now. Copper's down the last 3 sessions, as well as being down 18 of the last 26 sessions. We actually were up a little bit today, up about 15 basis points, which is right in between 1/10 and 2/10% higher at 345.70. But then to the downside, on the low, 327.60. down 4.5%, and we finished down more than 4% on the day. Copper is also working on its 6th straight week lower, and that includes 10 of the last 14 weeks. Copper has been down 10 of the last 14 weeks. Now, China's part of the reason. China's COVID case number is slowly rising again, especially in a city like Shanghai, and there's increased renewed lockdown fears. Those fears are increasing. And the last time China had a lockdown, well, that's part of the initial sort of wave down that we saw in the copper futures. Everybody knows at this point, China is the largest consumer and smelter of copper, and their economy's really been damaged by these lockdowns and these rising numbers of COVID cases. But also overall global demand is looking at being pushed down over the coming months, with recession fears growing as yields fall further on the long end of the U.S. yield curve than on the short end. And what does that mean? An inverted curve. The 2s10s curve went from being -8 basis points to -12. So what does that mean? That means that the 2-year yield is higher than the 10-year yield. That's a curve inversion. We got the same thing happening in the 5-year to the 10-year, which is now inverted by 8 basis points. And an inverted yield curve has often been an indicator of a coming recession. So if there's a recession, we're going to have lower demand, theoretically, for industrial metals altogether. Copper obviously falls under that heading. Copper down over 4% today.